2:30 in the morning.
It is.
We were supposed to record this yesterday.
And then Hamid.
Who?
Hello.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, welcome back to Dollar Reviews. This time we're doing the big one. Welcome back to the park, right? It's reopened. Is that the same? No, I hope so. There's no aftershocks. Did anyone even see that this weekend? I doubt. I bet you it's gonna make like 8 million.
I don't know what the grosses were yesterday, but
I don't know either.
whatever. Well, it's only about one movie this weekend.
Yeah. Fun fact. It's called Jurassic Park, but dinosaurs, in particular T-Rex, they didn't exist in that period. It was actually the Triassic. But no one gives a shit.
Who cares? We're stupid human beings. We just want to see dinosaurs fuck shit up. Fuck accuracy. So we have a guest this week.
We do have a guest.
We do.
Oh, hello.
We kind of made like a little Easter egg or so last week, and he was lucky enough to listen, and so we didn't even have to do the real invite. And here he is.
Hello, I'm Hamid.
So tell us about yourself. How do we know you?
Cal State Long Beach.
Ooh.
FVA. Film.
Woo.
You have like a film chant? Like,
No, fuck no.
Film shit. I don't fucking know.
Funny thing about Long Beach State is that we have a Steven Spielberg editing lab.
Audio-visual center.
TV studio?
Yeah.
I don't.
Do either of you know why we have that?
It's just a
Because
sign,
he
isn't
donated
it?
for a while.
He did donate it, and why? Because he is also a Cal State alum like us.
Yeah.
More interesting, you know who else is a Cal State alum? Joe Johnston. So, this is the first Jurassic movie not to be directed by someone from our alma mater.
All right.
Which is
wonder.
pretty
I
interesting.
hate this movie already.
Oh, let's see where this is going.
It didn't blow. It was okay. But we'll get into that
Yeah.
right now.
Alright, you know what? Before we get into the movie, what is your guys' experience with the franchise? Hamid, let's start with you.
I'm pretty sure I saw it in theaters growing up.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I loved it. It was great. The soundtrack was awesome.
Well, you also love Universal Studios, so...
I do. Up until September 3rd, 2007. That's a different story.
So you saw the first, I'm guessing, in theaters. Also The Lost World, the third, or...
Yeah. As far as I recall, I did see all the movies in theaters. Yeah. Obviously, the first one was my favorite. I didn't necessarily hate the other two, like some people do on the internet. Yeah, so it's, I love Jeff Goldblum, so like that.
Who doesn't? The Chaos Theory stuff. How deep were you? Were you like balls deep? Did you have the dinosaurs and shit, or?
No, I
No?
was just
Stuck
movie.
with Back to the Future toys.
Oh yeah. As
Close.
far as I know, their actual DeLorean just shrunk by
A shrink ray.
Yeah, exactly. Wayne Zelinsky was like, "Hey, mate, here's my shrink ray. Shrink some DeLoreans. I'm gonna put them on your bookshelf so you can look at."
What about you, Steve? What's your experience with this franchise?
You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't really have anything that special, to be honest. I mean, I remember watching the original, or not the original, but the first, I should say, and I liked, it looked great. It still looks great. I saw it again, I think about a year and a half ago or so.
For the 3D re-release?
No, I just saw it at home. It was on HBO or something. Still looks great. I mean, it holds up well. The mix of animatronics and CGI, like ILM, it's really what put them on the map more so than Star Wars. And ever since then, was it 93, right? Or was it 95? Yeah, ever since 1993, they've ba-boom, and it's never looked back. Barely remember Lost World. Tried to watch that the other day, too, and that didn't work. Vince Vaughn's in that for some fucking reason. It was like right after that he did the Psycho remake. He just had a really bad couple of years in the late 90s.
Then he decided I should do comedy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he started with Swingers. I
Yeah.
mean, who
I
knows?
never saw Swingers.
Oh, you got to see it.
Yeah.
I remember it's on your list of shame now.
Shame, yeah.
But more relevant is Jurassic Park 3. I did see that in theaters. I remember seeing the 2001 Spider-Man trailer with the web between the Twin Towers. And then, this one. But, yeah, I wasn't big on the dinosaurs myself. And you, Steve, what kind of impression did it make for you, this franchise?
Okay.
That's a big thing.
All right. So, first time my first exposure to the franchise was with the third movie when it came out. And, I was a kid. I did like it then. But, I just remember liking it. And, that's it. I just haven't really looked back on it since because I've heard it's been pretty bad. And, I've grown up with most of Steven Spielberg's big movies. There's obviously Indiana Jones,
Jaws.
E.T., Close Encounters, Jaws, you said it. Jurassic Park, I realized after high school that I had never seen the first one.
Wow.
It was just something that, when it's brought up in conversation, because it's such an iconic film.
Yeah.
It's a landmark film, and I'd seen the T-Rex scene, I'd seen things from it, but after a while I realized I'd never sat down and seen the actual movie, so I would just talk about it and praise this movie, and realize after a while, crap, I haven't seen that yet. I watched it sometime after high school, and I don't like Jurassic Park, guys.
Wow.
I don't think it's a good movie.
In terms of Spielberg's work,
no, especially in terms of his work, it's disappointing. Here's the thing: is, as far as visual effects, yeah, it's 1993, but those effects do still hold up.
They look great.
Pretty great. Yeah, I mean, my issue with the movie is, for about the first half hour, they talk about just, the ethical ramifications that this would have, with opening a theme park with dinosaurs in it, just how morally wrong that is. And, it's a pretty great conversation, and every argument's pretty well thought out. So they all agree it's a bad idea, right?
And they get there and they're like, oh my god, yeah, look at this thing, oh wow.
See, that's pretty much what that entire series is for me, is that everyone's just acknowledging that what they're doing is a bad idea, and they go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah.
And that's, especially when the teaser came out for Jurassic World, that was a line directly from Chris Pratt. Oh, you just built another dinosaur? That's probably a bad idea.
Okay, he doesn't have much twang.
I
don't know where that came from.
And I'm just thinking, oh my fucking god, movie. I can't sympathize with anybody in this. I find it difficult to care about people that just know that they're doing something stupid beforehand. It's fine if they're doing it blindly and, not really, thinking about what the possible ramifications are, and, they just learn the error of their ways later on. But this is just, they know going in that what could go wrong, and it goes wrong, and I'm just sitting back there and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, you knew, you fucking morons, this could happen, and you decided to go through with it anyway.
So
I can't, and that's been this entire series, I just can't.
You can't get behind it?
I can't connect with it in any way.
Well, what's your well, not connection, but how deep are you in Crichton? Have you seen any of his other films? Have you read his stuff?
No.
Okay, have you read them?
Yeah, I
as
read,
movies, I just can't connect with them.
I read the audiobook, and when I read the audiobook, it was amazing.
I know it's deep science stuff. Most of the stuff is. Well, I mean, you got to remember, Jurassic Park's made by Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. They have the studio itself, these theme parks. And they're making, so the very first one, they're making a movie about making a theme park. And so you have them making the ride, and it's not just a ride. If you're on the lower lot in Hollywood, it's the whole bottom there, especially back then, because they started the building of the ride during pre-production. It was ready, I think, a year after the release or something like that, something crazy. And it's still great. You go there, I mean, the animatronics don't hold up, but it's fucking scary. That final drop of the T-Rex, so scary, in fact, that I was reading this thing. I don't know if it's true. It was on Wikipedia. There wasn't any annotation. But apparently Steven Spielberg went on the ride for the opening, and he asked to be let off the ride before the drop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm not going to call him a pussy, but come on, man.
Well, I mean, he's just afraid of drops. Yeah, no.
I think it's more than the drop. That T-Rex is fucking scary.
It is. And it's fucking badass.
It is badass.
Fleshed out, and the animatronic is so amazing, and it flips up when it's
That ride at Universal Studios, that was probably my first exposure to Jurassic Park. All right, though, back to the movie, the main topic for tonight, Jurassic World. Hamid, what did you think?
I thought it visually was an amazing movie. The dinosaur effects were really neat and cool. The writing, I don't know how I feel. I thought the script was a little weird. The general plot, similar to the first movie.
I disagree on that one.
Yeah.
The park is fully the park is
it's obviously
alive.
there's the park there, but I mean there are a lot of characters that are.
Oh yeah, the kids are the kids.
Yeah, the kids are the kids. Bryce Dallas Howard is,
Sam Neill, but it's Sam Neill plus his daughter.
Irfan Khan is John Hammond, basically the eccentric billionaire.
Well, he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt that's new.
He's like Muldoon except funnier.
Exactly.
Who's Muldoon?
The clever girl.
Shoot.
I'm lost.
Wow, you have not seen these movies in a while. You don't.
What?
And I don't even like them, man.
I know the clever girl line, but who plays them? Who's this?
I just remember the character.
Shouldn't we someone have this on IMDb? So
No, we're not.
Total amateurs here.
Oh, right. And then the soundtrack. I mean, aside from the John Williams cue,
I didn't hear anything. Yeah.
I thought it's not a particularly. I love Michael Giacchino. He's probably one of my favorite composers out there.
Also, didn't do much on Tomorrowland, so.
Did you do Up?
Yeah. He did Up, Lost,
Wow.
Star Trek. Yeah.
I don't think
Sounds
it's
like
as iconic, but I do think it really. You do get the mood of the previous films. It does feel.
It feels the same, yeah.
Yeah, so it feels like it's a score that belongs there. The themes may not be as memorable, but it does work and it does service the film.
Yeah, it's very cutesy with the way that it's not even cutesy. Like, it was done really well. Whenever they're showing something on screen that kind of harkens back to the earlier films, especially the first one, that the score creeps in. And I'm sure it's going to be a similar on Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It's going to be a very similar thing where it's like.
Is John Williams doing that though?
Oh, he's actually doing it.
He is doing it.
Well, I think he's going to do the same kind of thing though. It's like, oh, here's the Sith.
John Williams going back to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not someone else.
Taking over.
It's not a hired hand.
No.
But yeah, I like those little touches. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Brian, what did you think of it?
Yeah.
I didn't dislike. I mean, okay, I have some shit going on in the background. I took a friend. I work at this multiplex. Let me backtrack.
As you said before.
Yeah, and if I'm not working, I can see anything for free.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's a midnight screen like I did. I did Thursday at 7 p.m. in our IMAX 3D. So I paid a pretty penny. I paid $18.50 per ticket. Okay, which wasn't so bad because the seats were new and I wanted to have an experience in there. Anyway, but the person I took, he actually went to UC Santa Barbara and studied paleontology. His whole life, he loved Jurassic Park so much, the first movie, that he was one of those kids with the dinosaur t-shirts and the dinosaur toys. I'm going to dig things in the sandbox and I'm going to be that guy. And throughout high school, he still wanted to do that. He went to college. He got really good grades, still wanted to do that. And then he had a reality check because he got cancer. And he's like, okay, well, maybe I'm not going to be able to dig dinosaurs. They've learned everything they can, whatever. But he's still so passionate about it that I went, I swallowed my pride. Okay, I'm going to buy these fucking tickets. And we went, and that experience, just seeing it with him, was awesome. He was a little boy still. And even after the movie, he's like, best movie of the summer. I was like, no, dude, Mad Max. He's like,
I was about to say,
yeah,
you see Mad Max?
Exactly. He's like, no, Mad Max was cool, but this was the shit. This was amazing. And spoilers, he's talking about the third act and stuff. And the third act was admittedly very good. But yeah, I actually liked it. I think it was weird. It was kind of like Mad Max in the way that Chris Pratt was the one on the billboard in the trailers, but he's not what the movie's about. It's Bryce Dallas Howard's character, and more particularly her two nephews.
So that's the redhead.
Yeah, the redhead.
Yeah,
That's
she was my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, that's Ron Howard's daughter. But yeah, no, I thought it looked fairly good. The 3D wasn't great. My big problems with the film were that it was so different from the first film, and in a good way, but it didn't really try to.
22 years later.
This is true, but they didn't.
It does feel like it has the same DNA of it, but just there's a large gap in time.
There's certain things in the movie where they kind of reference the first part, and I liked that, but they never gave me reason. There was no build up to this new park, the world. I wanted something kind of like Westworld, which is something that Michael Crichton also did. He actually wrote the screenplay and directed. It was his first film that he directed. If you don't know who he is, like I said, he also did Jurassic Park, Andromeda Strain, lots of sci-fi stuff, heavy sci-fi stuff that lots of people like. And Westworld, it's going to be not remade, but they're adapting it for HBO right now. It's going to be a series with a whole bunch of people. Ed Harris, I can't remember who else, but it's sure to be great. And the concept of that is going to remind you a lot about this film. It's a huge theme park that is widely popular. It's at the height of its popularity. Everyone goes. The concept's obviously different. It's about androids that recreate certain periods in time. So you can go to Westworld, where you're in the Wild West, and there's gunslingers and whatnot. And you can do anything. You can kill anyone. You can fuck anyone. You can do anything you want because they're robots. And there's also a medieval times place, and I can't remember the other. Oh, and then it's Rome. Okay. And it's done really well. Great idea. It's the same exact fucking concept as this film, what happens if things go bad when it's actually viable and it's actually a real attraction, not petri dish and there's 5 people there. But this film, it never built the park up to be that until they walked there. Like, I didn't feel like it was this widely successful place as much as they wanted to put in this backstory, like Verizon presents the next place and you got this Samsung area and you got this and you got that. I didn't feel like it was ever that. It was just like, here it is. They spent like 15 to 20 minutes before they even go to the park, and all of that is setting up some bullshit backstory that no one cares about for these kids that you never feel attached to.
Yeah.
And they could have easily showed a commercial, or maybe the kid, he's so excited about going to this thing that he's on the website, or he knows everything. I know he has all these dinosaurs in his room, but maybe he has like an itinerary or map set up or something, and they just kind of dropped the ball for me.
It's like,
the whole film's not focused, and that's the problem that I had.
It's just weird. It's kind of like, using these similar just Spielberg themes in there, but not really just
done
doing
poorly
anything with them. It's just kind of there because it's a Spielberg movie.
Exactly.
Let's have some family drama.
It's like, let's set up this family.
Not have any family
where
drama.
they got they're probably gonna get divorced or whatever, and then let's show this aunt. And then let's show the guy that she kind of likes. And let's show some of the workers. And let's show this. And then that's kind of show the park, but not really. And then shit's going to happen. Then you're supposed to care about all these people. And I didn't buy it. Don't get me wrong. Visually, it looks great. Not some of the hunting stuff. But anytime Chris Pratt's on screen with his raptors, like I said earlier, the third act, anything with Indominus Rex. But I think that's the problem, because Spielberg wouldn't do that. He, even still to this day, it's about story first, and it's like, well, it can look great too, but it's about connecting on some level with the things that are going on, whereas this isn't that. This is just pure eye candy, and they kind of mention this in the film when they're saying, oh, we had to build the Rex because we're making money, but it's dropping.
Yeah,
and
it's being very meta.
Exactly, it's very meta. It's like, we got to get more attractions. We need this, and it has to do this. And it's commentating on itself.
Funny. It's just a little tidbit. This reminded me a little bit of 22 Jump Street in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that movie was actually released a year from this weekend.
Was it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So same weekend last year, yeah. But it's still, I find that just kind of irritating to see in movies when you're acknowledging that what you're doing is just kind of, when you're just talking about the problem, but you're also being a part of the problem.
Yeah, by talking about it. You're not solving it, you're just mentioning it.
It's like, okay, well, you're being entertaining, but at the same time, I still see the problem, and you're just adding more to the problem. It's like,
yeah. What was the quote on this? Is like, we wanted a bigger and better thing to get more visitors. It's like, okay, well, that's what Universal Studios did to make this film. They needed a bigger and better dinosaur.
The grosses of yesterday.
Exactly.
Right?
And I'm sure that they're going to rebuild the Jurassic Park sections of their theme parks to make it a bigger and better attraction. And so it works on that level, and it also works in terms of just media in general and whatever. Like,
Universal was so concerned with whether or not they could do it, they never stopped to think of whether or not they should.
Yeah, it's silly. But with that being said, I liked it. I thought it was everything that it kind of was hyped to be, coming back, like revisiting Jurassic Park, having similar themes, dinosaur violence, dinosaurs, period. But I think what it really was is, since on basic cable you're watching Discovery or whatever, Animal Planet, you can see dinosaurs. They have like some shit called like Dinosaur Fight Club, okay? And you can see them all the time, and so they never focus like in the first film when you see the Bronchosaurus for the first time, or any of the dinosaurs for the first time, where it's that wow. Now it's, you already fucking know what it is. Move along. We're going to show you for a second. You don't care about that. You just want to see someone die. We're going to get to that soon. And it's kind of a problem, but not really. It could have been worse. But yeah, I thought the directing was okay. It wasn't great. It was almost Spielberg. Colin Trevorrow. As I remember, Hamid tried to pitch me on this. What is it? Like, we're still in school. You're like, did you see who's gonna direct the next movie? And I was like, yeah.
Well, yeah, I saw Safety Not Guaranteed, and I
Did you see it, Steve?
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was my second favorite film of 2012. I loved it.
Yeah.
that was on your top 10, I remember.
It was, and I'm kind of disappointed by Jurassic Park 4 because it didn't match up to...
Called Jurassic Park 4?
Jurassic Park 4, yeah.
That's good enough.
Yeah, it was a Jurassic Park World 4, it doesn't matter.
They even have a Jurassic Park shirt in the movie, so even the movie's confused.
Hey, but that was done well.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it?
I liked it.
I kind of liked it too.
Well, we'll get to that.
That was like a fun...
It was good.
It's fine, it's fine, I guess it'll do.
Yeah, it's
It
like
doesn't hurt anything, but it's
So yeah, safety not guaranteed. Colin Trevorrow.
yeah, it was enjoyable.
Well, I know why you liked it. Who doesn't like time travel movies, right?
Yeah, Hitler. He
What?
probably doesn't like time travel
You say Hitler?
movies. Yeah, I think
Hitler?
so. And Gandhi just
Hitler
throw it in.
does-
Why wouldn't Gandhi like time travel? I think he'd be good for it.
You are just tuning in. You are listening to the review of Jurassic World. Simon Mopanek,
We're-
Ryan Gillis, and Hamid Zadar.
Yeah, that's close enough.
All right, so
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, Steve. Yeah, so did you give your 2 cents?
did not, and I'm still. How do I follow
I
the
don't-
cancer story there, man?
Yeah.
God, you
Man,
made me.
cancer.
I went in with pretty decent expectations, nothing great, but just the experience of seeing it with my friend. He was on one of the podcasts. He was Luis, who was on the Django Unchained one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna take that away from you.
I hope not.
So the movie, things that I actually liked. You know, I actually kind of like the stuff that they did with the park. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I like the product
expectations were
placement.
really low, but I did like, you know, just seeing little things of how that park worked.
Uh-huh.
Like the little detail with the, you know, how they handle lines and the employees that have to work those lines and how they
Mhm.
have to turn people away, and they're just like, no, it's just my job. I'm sorry. There's
Yeah.
nothing I can do. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
you
seeing
can
that.
tell like the
Yeah, so
corporate
I've-
lifestyle kind of like drained his joy out of him.
And I've heard stories from people that work at Disneyland.
And it's
how that's
just like
so-
that.
Kind of like some employees there like have a flat affect, but when I was there, I give it my all,
Yeah.
and I was like, I did a pretty good job.
Also, I like the stuff at the park. I like how they come up with attractions. You know, and also I do think the movie has a good sense of humor, and that is the one.
Yeah.
That's probably the one thing that really kept me awake. Probably was the stuff with Chris Pratt and the Raptors.
Yeah, that's
And that
like
idea,
I
just
agree.
the bond with the Raptors, I think,
Best part of this film.
you know, yeah, as ridiculous as it is, I mean, that's really cool to see.
I
How that
kind of
works.
bought it.
But yeah, no, absolutely.
It was neat.
But yeah, I obviously I can't. I don't think the movie's terrible. I just didn't really care for it because I have no real investment in this franchise whatsoever.
Mhm.
And even then, you know, in the end, it just felt very forgettable and unimportant. Like what happened just happened. It was like, okay, you know, we knew that something was going to go wrong in the park. They've been talking about it for 22 years now. That shit would go pretty badly. Wow, big fucking shock. It goes bad. So, I mean, yeah, that's the basics. I don't, you know, just small things that could have made me more invested in there. I don't think that any of the characters were interesting, or really, there weren't any. Every character is kind of just one note. The kids are kids. You know, Bryce Dallas Howard is arc is Sam Neill, except I don't know. It's not really that much of an arc. I don't really think that she pulled it off, or if that was supposed to be.
No, I don't think that's what it
I don't-
was.
You know, the main message that I got from the movie was that, oh, she needs a man.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, Joss Whedon's tweet is not too far off on that.
What was his tweet? Because I mean, he deleted his account, so
A clip came out, and
yeah, like it was the first trailer.
70s era sexism.
I still agree with that.
I mean,
remember that.
She runs in heels throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you take them off? Like, I don't.
He said
It
that.
doesn't really look that hot either.
In that one scene, like their first moment together when shit gets real, he says something like, "Oh, are you gonna wear that? Like, aren't you gonna change it?" It reminded me of *Romancing the Stone*. Have either of you seen this?
I've seen it once.
Well, I saw it recently before they took it off Netflix. And there's a similar like dynamic there. You got this rugged like mercenary in the jungle with this kind of damsel in distress kind of thing going on, and she like takes a machete and cuts off the heels of her shoes,
Yeah.
and so she can walk around, and it's great. And they kind of do that here, and then they don't go the extra mile. It's like fuck her, she can hurt her feet for the rest of the movie.
All right, here's one thing that I was kind of shocked by watching it.
Shocked,
And this has to do with the CGI.
which wasn't that good.
Pretty bad in quite a few places.
Yeah, it wasn't- it wasn't great.
I didn't think it was terrible. You know, by today's standards, I guess it was fine. There are some. You know, there was one moment that just specifically stuck. I can't remember what the names of the dinosaurs, but you know, in the first one, there's that moment where they're running away from just this herd of dinosaurs that are just running
Yeah.
around. You know what? You know what they're called? Well, there's a moment just like that when they're in the gyrosphere.
In the gyrosphere, yeah.
Yeah, and you know the
The
same
one
pack
with
of
the
dinosaurs are
hammer
running
jaws.
around, and I swear they looked worse.
I wasn't looking
than
at
they
them. I
did
was
in
looking at the
1993.
gyrosphere.
Like, they looked way
I would
worse.
disagree. The CGI in 1993, the texture of the dinosaurs were a little bit flat, while in this movie, the texture of the dinosaurs
Oh,
were
there's more detail, but it
Yeah.
still feels very.
Yeah, it doesn't look
artificial
good.
to me. Yeah, it
I-
feels very pasted on.
I think what it was too is in the first film they did a mix of CGI with the animatronics, right?
Oh yeah.
Especially like on the T-Rex and
You
stuff.
can see some of it here.
Yeah, you can see
Yeah,
it
it's
very
It's not
rare.
one bit,
Yeah.
They don't exactly blend. I love what animators do. There's a lot of work that goes into CGI. You know, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, fuck CGI, it's terrible. But here, it just for a Jurassic Park movie, after all, that's the gold standard of like what really got CGI going.
Yeah.
And it just, it doesn't live up to what the original can do. I think you have problems already.
It's like what I was saying earlier, though. I think what the problem is that you have this grand access to dinosaurs now. Everyone knows what they look like, and this is because of Jurassic Park. Like, we went into Dinomania. There was like the dinosaurs were back, and the Toronto Raptors basketball team were founded in 1995, and they called their fan area outside their stadium Jurassic Park. And a couple of other examples that I'm missing. And it got so big, and everyone knows what they look like now. Like I said, it's on basic cable, that it kind of numbs the audience, I guess, and it's no longer about the wow. It just is, hey, look, they're fucking there. And they got to make the bigger and better ones. Like you see in the trailer, they got the Shamu dinosaur now, and they got this, and
That was a pretty cool scene.
it was a pretty cool scene, but too bad the whole scene was in the trailer.
I got a kick out of seeing Bruce getting eaten by a dinosaur.
Yeah, oh, you caught that? I was going to mention that. I think it's Bruce.
It's a Spielberg movie. It has
Yeah,
to be.
pretty sure that was the Amblin little watermark.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I thought the Amblin title sequence, not the title sequence, but the CGI was awesome.
Yeah, it was a pretty sharp title sequence.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you there. What did you think of 3D?
I thought it was fun. I mean, they missed a lot of things, especially when they're doing the hunting sequence that you see in the trailers with the red dots. Not the red dot, but
Lasers?
yeah, the lasers. I would have liked to have seen those in the audience. I wanted those to come out of the screen because they do no jump effects in this film at all, which is a mistake because you got some terrifying looking dinosaurs. You got the water moment. They kept the depth on the other side of the screen, and I really didn't like that because I paid a lot of money for it and it looked good, but the 3D wasn't special. There wasn't anything going on. It didn't have any of the visual gags, which is what I enjoy in a 3D film. But what about you?
I have a similar opinion. I kind of forgot that the movie was in 3D.
Mhm.
That's how, I don't want to say ineffective the 3D was, but that's...
It just wasn't used well.
Yeah, it just wasn't as prominent and used well.
Yeah.
Do you know if it was post-process?
It 100% was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
surprised.
went out to 2D specifically because, they shot it in the original ratio that the other three were shot in. They shot it on 35mm film, and I think
That's
some shots
good.
were on digital. But yeah, they shot it with spherical lenses, so it is maintaining the same exact look. So I figured, okay, I'm just gonna go in 2D, and that way it's consistent with what the other ones are trying to look like. And I do feel like it really succeeds in doing that. It does feel like it looks like a Jurassic Park movie. It looks like this world 22 years after the original. And as far as I thought it was pretty well shot in that regard. I didn't feel the need to see it in 3D to begin with, and I love 3D, but
It was.
Yeah.
It's nothing special in 3D. It's not worth your extra $4 to $5. And IMAX, same thing goes. It wasn't worth the IMAX money. It was worth the seats. The
Yeah,
seats
I
were
agree
nice.
with that assessment. Not worth the extra dough for 3D at all.
I don't know. Well, it's gonna break 100 mil.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's projected to make like 177 plus. I think the new projections are 185, which might even actually be closer to 200.
It's going to make ass loads.
Oh yeah, which is a
This why
good thing.
Sequels are popular.
Well, it's not even just that. It's just I'm happy for Universal. Earlier this year, they had the first $1 billion film, Furious 7.
Mhm.
This is definitely going to get $1 billion.
Good year.
I forgot to mention this. Jurassic World is being shown, I'm guessing tomorrow as well, on 11 screens at my 20 theater megaplex.
Is that a big deal?
11 out of 20 screens
Yeah,
are
that's a
showing
lot.
this one film.
How big are the auditoriums?
It depends. I think the smallest one, I'm sure for Jurassic, the smallest one's like 180.
Biggest one's what, like a 400 seater?
A little bit less than that. Like
Oh, okay.
360.
Okay, yeah.
But just that's crazy. Like
Just realized that Vincent D'Onofrio's in this movie. His character's
Horrible.
completely forgettable.
Yeah.
The
just
guy with the
remembered
goatee
that.
who wanted to militarize the dinosaurs?
I want to see that movie where the military takes
Exactly.
the dinosaurs
That would be
and sends
amazing.
them out. Yeah.
That would
the
be
original
so good.
script.
No way. If they make the sequel that, I'm gonna watch it. Like you have, it's like Al Qaeda or no, it's ISIS versus the Raptors.
America.
Hell yes.
Korea and Raptors.
Yes.
Together.
Hell, if they did that, like they make it like a Sharknado type film,
That's what This Is the End should have been. The Interview should have been.
everyone
That should have been.
everyone would go watch Jurassic Army.
Getting eaten by raptors.
Infantry.
Infantry, yes. Yes. I would watch it. Who wouldn't watch that? If that's what they're setting up.
Jurassic Commandos.
Yeah. Oh man. And then they just learn how to speak.
Brad and his band of brothers.
The movie
He's gonna be Magnificent Seven. Hey.
where the dinosaurs had rockets strapped to their back.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be cool
All
too.
right, let's close this up. The
All right.
review.
So there's a lot of things going on in this film, and not much of it is done well. There's a disjointed family drama. There's some military aspect. There's some weird commentary on how theme parks are run and also the entertainment industry. But I liked it. I wouldn't buy it for $1, but 50 cents, sure. It's worth my money.
I don't think it's terrible. I mean, I made it clear that I just don't care about Jurassic
Yeah, you're not
Park in
connected.
general. I mean, there's nothing really to pull me into it. But for somebody else, I can see the appeal, and I can see why other people like this movie. And I'll stick with Michael Bay's Transformers film. You guys can have this. That's completely fine. We need responses from viewers. So by all means, send your hate mail. I'm all down for it. Hamid.
Yeah, it was effective enough as a movie roller coaster movie. Visually, again, it was appealing. It was well. I like the cinematography and the production design of various set pieces. But the soundtrack, aside from again John Williams' Q, it's like
Michael Giacchino's coming back next week with Inside Out.
Is he doing that one?
He is doing.
I'm
that.
excited about this
me
film.
too.
I'm
I
excited
have
for the
high
score,
hopes for
though.
that one.
Anything
So,
scored by Michael
yes.
Giacchino, I will listen. Again, I had no emotional connection to the material on screen, but the score fit the image pretty well, so it worked for me.
Bottom line, I think if you enjoy the other Jurassic Park films, especially the first, you have any kind of interest in dinosaurs, or you just think Chris Pratt looks good, then this is definitely worth your money. Maybe not on the big screen, definitely not in 3D, but Redbox, sure enough.
Brian, where can we find you online?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Brian Gillis. That's easy to spell. That's a lie. It's BRYONGILLIS. That's the same name. You can find me on Letterboxd, where I rank everything because it is my film diary. What about you, Steve?
You can find me on Twitter at S_MTX, which I'm trying to be more active on. And you can also find my film diary at letterboxd.com/S_MTX, where I also rate every movie that I'm watching lately, and I even add little reviews here and there.
What about you, Hamid?
You can find me on my blog, hdzee.com. I have some stuff up there, and I also have a Letterboxd account. Zordon Lives.
That's a Power Rangers reference, guys.
Are you going to use that more?
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
All right. Stay tuned for our bonus episode. We will give our 2 cents.
We'll be back next week with Dope and Inside Out.
And maybe me and Earl and the Dying Girl.